Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2017 UAE for Good Awards, and please put your hands together for our host for the day, Marwan Alabadi.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this beautiful day. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, our judges, participants, it gives me immense pleasure to welcome you to the third For Good Awards here in the UAE, a celebration of innovation and the World Cup of civilian drones, and as well as AI and robotics. Today you will witness the Robotics for Good finals with the Drones for Good taking place on stage Saturday the 18th, which is tomorrow. The finals on Saturday afternoon, and will be a combined effort to honor both the Drones and the AI and Robotics for Good Awards. The Drones and AI and Robotics for Good Awards was launched under the direction of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, Vice President and Prime Minister of the UAE and the ruler of Dubai. The award reflects a strategic direction of the UAE government, which emphasizes the importance of early adaptation to new and emerging technologies to stimulate innovation in the humanitarian sector in which it has an active role. Innovation goes to the very heart of the UAE's values and the way of living. His Highness Sheikh Mohammed believes that governments need to be more innovative and tech-savvy to deliver services that improve quality of life, match and at the forefront in promoting innovation, and it is a natural progression to have its sights civilian drone innovation. Kind is a giant leap in that direction. 17 subsection, civil defense, 121 countries for the AI and robotics, focusing on three major sectors, which are health, education, and social services. For drones, the Drone for Good Awards has two categories, the international and the national. During today's event, you will observe 20 competitors made up of 9 international and 11 national teams. Each team will have 15 minutes to present and demonstrate their concept and fly their drones. For AI and Robotics for Good Awards, it has two categories as well, international and national. And during today's event, you will observe 20 competitors made up of 9 international teams and 11 national teams. Each team will also have 15 minutes to present and demonstrate their concept and fly their drones. All competitor proposals have been evaluated on their service and technical potential based on their competition entry submission. These scores are preloaded to constitute a percentage of the overall score for each team. Competitors today will be judged on their live presentation and their demonstration. These scores will be added together to generate the final scores for each team and calculate their ranking. For all categories, the format is as follows: 50% for service and technical evaluation, which is preloaded, 15% on-site presentation, and 35% on-site demonstration here today. There are 8 judges per category who will base their decisions on these two on-site graded criteria. There is one winner per category, and the international winner will take home $1 million US, and the national winners will take home $1 million. With their presentations, starting the competition, our robotics national team. And also, before we continue, I'd like to remind our guests here today that we have a People's Choice Award this year. It's very simple. We're encouraging people to vote for their favorite demonstrations per category by visiting the website a4g.ae. The voting will open for 30 minutes at the end of each category once all teams have finished presenting. Without further ado, I'd like to invite to stage my co-host, Shaban Naeem, who is our technical expert, who will be joining me on stage and giving us all the of the teams today. Ladies and gentlemen, Shaban. So Shaban, welcome back. It's our third year together.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here.
So what are we expecting today to kick the day off, our first set of tournament?
Well, we've got 6 teams going up first. Yourself are going up first, followed by teleporter, beam motion, in-pipe inspection robot, GDRFA, and Smart Highway Robot. And let's talk a little bit about the first team, Rehabilitate Yourself. We've got ladies coming in from the UAE University and all the way from Al Ain, and they're working on a small wearable robot that helps stroke patients.
Excellent. Well, we're going to give them the chance to present. Our judges are here. We'll talk about our esteemed judges as well. Dr. Isa is one of the faces who are back and we remember. They've put them a little further away from us this year. We're going to be over here. Again, guests, welcome once again, and we encourage you to please clap your hands, make some noise for all the presentations that you do like. And again, don't forget to vote on the website, a4g.ae. Those People's Choice voting points count as well. So should we go ahead and introduce our first team?
All right, Rehabilitate Yourself. Nuaf, Hajar, and Sheikha, you can make your way up to the stage. You've got 2 minutes to set up and 15 minutes to present and 1 minute to clear out.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Nof, and here is Hajar and Sheikha. And we are a team with Dr. Fadi and Dr. Adel. And today, we are going to present a new technology, a technology that may change the life of us or people who we know. People who have or may had stroke, brain damage, spinal cord injury, or what we call it in Arabic, سكتة دماغية. So do you know that stroke is the second leading cause of death worldwide? And do you know that in the UAE alone, we have 1 stroke case in elderly people out of 10? These facts are really scary, isn't it? In the matter of these facts, and based on it, at least one of us may have or had someone he knows having this experience. Anybody? Although, with these sad facts, and following the statistics about stroke published worldwide in the last few years, we noticed quietly good news and bad news. So the good news technology. Approximately 2/3 of people who had stroke survived, alhamdulillah. But the bad news is that those people who survived require immediate rehabilitation and intensive attention in no more than 1 to 4 months to recover lost brain functions and go back to their normal life as best and as fast as possible, and be able to avoid dealing with the disability.
The lack of highly needed, and designing custom level of patients are expensive and all. In the USA, in 2000, rehabilitations costed rehabilitations. This is incredible.
Yes.
It has some amazing features, like you can do your training while relaxing indoor as well as outdoor. Easy to fix and take off. We are currently working to make it more simpler. It's partly 3D printed. You can have a chance to customize the size, the color, even the function that you need. It's practical. And the most important, that the design medical doctor.
Okay.
And now we'll see the feedback from Dr. Bir Mohammed.
Up, hand down. So this is the wrist prototype. The third prototype could be the elbow prototype. So bend elbow, straighten elbow. So this could be 3.
We are planning to put this product in the market. And if we win this money, hopefully, we are going to develop our robot to be better for the patients. We are going to connect this robot to a cloud, to mobile devices, so that doctors can feedback and adjust their rehabilitations, and also patients can see their daily progress. And also, we want to make it affordable for the patients, so patients can have this device at their houses. And finally, we would like to thank you all for your attention. If you have any feedbacks, you can send it to us. And if you want to try this robot, you are welcome to. And thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our national category AI and robotics is in. It's always tough being the first team in a competition presenting. You know, you don't know where the bar is set. The nerves are kicking in, being on stage, having the mic and presenting in front of all the judges. But you know, from a non-judge's perspective, and their concept as well.
Well, you're right. We were talking about the nerves before we went on stage for ourselves as well. I think the team did really well. The presentation went smoothly. The team that you and the audience will see quite regularly. A lot of our teams, I would say upwards of 85% of the teams that are in both drones and robotics have made use of 3D printing technology. And the reason that is so useful is because generally when you are trying to create structures for robots or for drones, it's a really expensive process because you'd have to create molds. And
now everyone has 2 minutes to set up. So the next team is Teleporter. We're going to give you 2 minutes on the clock to start setting up. In the meantime, let's thank our judges once again, our leading sponsor, Dubai Internet City, for giving us this wonderful venue. It's our 3rd year being over here, and I've noticed that this year we've taken some of the lake as well.
Yes, we have. Yes, part of the stage is actually built on water.
So we're actually sitting on the water right now. So thank you to Dubai Internet City, event partner Do, Samsung, Digi Robotics, and the community partner Makers Builders Workshops. Also, thank you very much for their support. Not forget ICT Fund, who also are the organizers this year of the event. And I believe TRA as well. A special thanks to TRA here too. Thank you to our audience as well. Just a quick reminder, don't forget to jump on that website if you want to vote for the People's Choice Award. It only takes a couple of seconds. The website is a4g.ae. That is the website you can log on to. And if you're here supporting your friends, maybe it'd be a good idea to log on to that website and support them by giving them a People's Choice vote. And if you're on the social media this year, if you're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, #AEA4G. That is the hashtag for today. So what do we have coming up next, team?
So we've got Teleporter on, Omar and Fatima, and I'll let them tell the story, but in short, they're working on this really interesting telepresence system at a very, very low cost point, and they've hacked commercial components, and they'll talk more about that in their presentation, but essentially it's a telepresence system.
All right, we're just waiting for the thumbs up on stage if they're ready to go. Oh, we got the thumbs up. All right, here we go. You have 15 minutes to present to the judges. The next team, Teleporter.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Hello, everyone. My name is Omar Ali, and with me is Fatma Al-Ka'bi. And together, we have developed Teleporter with this robot. Now, Teleporter is a complete solution to telepresence robotics. What we have done is we've taken cheap electronics, and we've been able to come up with a teleporter system. UAE has been able to dive in and try to create the Hyperloop. We've taken that one step further. We're going to try and make people who are unable to travel, to physically travel from one to log in onto the robo and be able to witness live a school or anything. Go ahead.
Our initial inspiration came after I felt the need, after visiting a hospital, to allow kids with cancer and other physically challenging diseases the chance to go to school and hang out with their friends. So let's watch this video.
كانوا عازليني.
And with that, I lost a lot of friends.
ما عندي صحاب.
A school trip to have the best time of my life. And when I found out I couldn't go to that, that was probably the hardest thing that anyone's ever said to me.
All right, so to be able to solve the problem of telepresence robotics to all the schools, we had to take care of
Affordable. We wanted to make this project affordable that any school can use it, and not procure just one, but many robots for their system.
The other thing we wanted to make sure was that organizations, the software that's on the firmware, and even the server-side software is all open source and available to the schools and universities to have complete control over. So what we've done to be able to do that, we've actually open sourced all of our code, even the design and the electronic design. That does two things. First, it gives complete control over to the client, but also what we do is we're able to engage students who are in the school to be able to, right? So they can go into the code.
We decided to use electronics. I think you all know the balance wheels. And I don't think anyone doesn't have these balance wheels. So we decided to reuse them because they're not in a good use now. So we found two powerful motors, a battery pack, and also a strong chassis. So we decided to use it and, recycle and use it again. And just for 250 dirhams. And if we bought every piece alone, it would have cost us like 1,500 or more.
Exactly. So basically what we've done is we know that Dragon Mart and China Mall are filled with these balance bots and nobody's buying them because they're illegal to drive now. So what we've done is we've just taken them off and said, we're going to make a robo out of it. For 250 dirhams, we're able to make, obviously with other things, we're able to make a robot. So what we're going to do is now we're going to try and show you a small demo of how this works. All right. Fatma is going to log in through the computer via the internet. And can we have a feed of Fatma's laptop on one of the screens?
This camera.
All right, there she
So
is.
I logged in already. Now we can see the display of the screen.
All right. So there are various safety features of this robot. Basically, we've packed it with a lot of sensors. All telepresence robotics that come in the market these days don't have many sensors on them. What we've done is we've added ultrasonic sensors, one at the bottom and one at the top, so that they can detect human beings, toddlers, so that they don't bump into them. The second thing we've done is we've also added sharp sensors at the bottom. 2 sharp sensors that will make sure that you don't bump into small cliffs, right? And then what we've done as well, just a second. Opa. All right. Fatma is controlling the robot. I'm going to just pause it for a second. OK. Let me just turn it around. There we go. OK. So I'm just going to show you some of the things that I've done with the robot. Hey, stop it. Let me unplug it. Okay. Opa. So traveling has made some of the sensors come off. All right, so we've got 2 IR sensors at the bottom that also make sure that it doesn't fall off a staircase. And the firmware has its own AI logic that makes sure that if the user, let's say Fatma or anybody, is trying to make the robo spin around recklessly, it actually prevents it from doing that. So we're trying to get, and also the screen has a panning and tilting mechanism that will allow for like a user to look around left and right without having to turn the entire robo left and right. That's really about it. Let's just continue with the presentation. All right. Can we have the slides? Oh, there we go.
So this is not the only reason we call it a teleporter. One of the advanced features we're planning to add to the robot is that, for example, if the user wants to log into one robot, okay, and control it to navigate it around the school. If I want to move to another part of the building, instead of having to navigate the robot the whole way around and waste power, all I can do is click on a point on the school floor map, and then the system is automatically going to disengage me from this one and move me to the other robot. So I move to the closest one to the location I want to go to. So instead of wasting battery, I could just use the other one.
Exactly, and that's why we call it the teleporter, because we literally teleport you from one robo to another robo. And one of the reasons why the cost is low is so that a school does not just buy one, but like a fleet of them, 10 or 15 of them. The other thing that we're trying to do, and we're hopefully going to be able to achieve it, is we want the user to be able to log in from simultaneous devices, from their computer, from their phones, from their tablets, and be able to switch from one device to another while still controlling the robo, not disengaging with the robo. So all of these things are possible because of the fact that we're going to have, hopefully, a strong community of open source developers who are going to keep adding all these features to it. All right, go ahead.
We have only just begun, and we're planning to add many features to it, and we're planning to send thousands of these to many different schools around the UAE and outside, inshallah. So one of the things that we could add to is auto-navigation. So instead of having to navigate the robot around, it would be, like a self-driving car. It would know the way and it would navigate itself there, instead of having to constantly navigate it around.
Right, and because we've saved on so much cost, having motors and batteries for just 200 camera that can also do face recognition. And what we're planning to do is imagine that there's 10 or 15 of these robots in a class and asking the users who are logged in to type in the names of people that they're talking to. And eventually, with learning, it will start recognizing who's where. So for example, if I log in sometime later and I say, hey, I want to know where Mr. Flint is, and I type Mr. Flint, the server will find out where is the nearest robo that actually saw Mr. Flint and log me to that robo and take me to Mr. Flint. So that's one of the advanced features we're planning to do. So all of these things are hopefully going to be done with a vibrant community of school people, of university students who are looking to add to their programming prowess, to their electronics prowess. And so that's exactly what our aim is. Fatma, over to you.
I made a sincere promise to the kids I met in the hospital, and I hope my dreams and the dreams of these kids come true.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for listening to us.
Yeah. All right, our second team in the National Part 1 Teleporter. What a great presentation over there. Just going to give them a couple of minutes to get their stuff off the stage, give the judges a little bit of time to get their scores in. But I absolutely love what they've done over here. They've taken a technology that you see around, which is almost becoming obsolete, and now have put it to good use.
Yes, I was talking to both Omar and Fatima, and it's always hard to repurpose technology. And I think their idea of open sourcing this project is also very, very important, because it means that you and I could probably someday in the future go download these plans off the internet and figure out how to make one of these robots for ourselves.
Absolutely. And speaking of learning how to make your own robots, the Makers Builder and Junkbox Dubai will host workshops over the event. These workshops will serve as an introduction to drones and AI and robotics, while also allowing participants to get hands-on in the process of making a robot or programming a drone. You can learn how to do it yourself. The workshops are happening today and tomorrow. You can check out the first workshop at 10 a.m. from 10 to 11:30, and the second one from 1 p.m. to 2:30 p.m., and the third workshop from 3 p.m. till 4:30 p.m. That's happening today, and that is the Makers Builders Workshop happening just outside of the pit today. All right, the judges are getting their scores in, and we're getting ready for our next team to set up. They have 2 minutes to set up from once they get the props on the stage. They have I can see they're moving the stuff on there, but let's talk about our next team. Our next team is called B-Motion.
So B-Motion are presenting quite a unique concept. They've got a thought-controlled wheelchair, and it's using a technology called EEG. You'll see them talk more about this. EEG is basically electroencephalography, and it is a bit of a tongue twister, that one. But it essentially allows you to read someone's... every time you think, there's an electrical impulse generated up here, and that EEG headset picks that up. The team is going to talk more about this when they come on stage, and they've essentially tied that up wirelessly to to an automated wheelchair. So it's a very, very cool, unique concept, and allows people with limited mobility to move around, but without having to really use their hands. They just have to think about it, and it'll happen.
I also see some familiar faces in this team. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is this a team that participated last year?
Yes, they were here last year. I was talking to Mohammed during the rehearsals, and he told me that they've made improvements this year.
All right, so they're getting a second chance at trying to win the big prize, and of course, the money isn't maybe sort of important to fund the technology that they're currently using. It's $1 million dirhams in the national and $1 million in the international, but more importantly, being crowned the best technology or best innovation that they've come up with in an event like this, I guess, goes a long way for them too. We are into our third team, another 3 teams left to go, and then we take a break at 10:50 and return at 11:50 for National Part 2. We're going to be taking a prayer break from 12:30 to 1:30, and then we'll be back with our international category at 2:20. And once again, don't forget, if you're here supporting your friends, your family, anyone on stage, or maybe an idea that you like, it would be great if you can give them a little vote in the People's Choice Awards. The website to go to is a4g.ae. Just spend a couple of minutes over there and give your friends or family members, or even the idea that you like, a little vote and get them some extra points. Our judges are here today as well, of course. Again, Dr. Isa Al-Bastaki, we can see a familiar face. He's far, but we can see that big smile from down here, Dr. Isa. So, any things to look forward to over the rest of today, Shaban?
A couple of great ideas. The second team that's also going to be doing repurposing of technology is a team that's working on recycling solutions. So you got to look out for that one. We've got a couple of teams that are bringing underwater ROVs. We've got a team that is working on a demining solution. And a lot of humanitarian situations, the refugee crisis. There are teams over here that are working to solve people's problems, and these are, in some cases, these are individuals. These are people with ideas that are trying to repurpose existing technology to try and do good with it, and that's what I love about the show.
Absolutely. All right, I think we got the thumbs up from the people on stage, and we're going to give these guys 15 minutes to impress the judges. Our third team in National Part 1, please put your hands together for B-Motion.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. Hello everyone. So today we're beginning our project. So before we present our presentation, please look at the short video.
Okay.
One of our biggest fears is being trapped inside small enclosed spaces. Now imagine being trapped inside of your own body, completely conscious. You can hear everything that people say around you. you can see perfectly fine. And you have a completely functional brain. The only problem is that you cannot speak or move. You strain to lift your legs, but they won't budge. You are a prisoner of your own body. And there is no way to communicate with the outside world. Now, is there a way out?
Yes, there is a way out. But first, let me tell you how this all started. Mind control is probably one of mankind's oldest fantasies. I can remember when I was a little kid thinking while watching a magic performance, thinking now, I can do that myself if only I could think of something and make it move with my brain power. And watching the X-Men series, the same thought crossed my mind. But it wasn't until I joined engineering school and started thinking of my graduation project that I came across a technology called BCI, Brain-Computer Interface, that could actually turn my fantasy into reality. And then I met this remarkable team who were willing to work hard and had the same intentions to make it happen. So we sat and discussed our ideas into what could be a useful application to do, or what problem could we solve using this technology. So after some research, we came across the following statistics. According to the Middle East Journal of Emergency Medicine, today there are about 17,000 patients that are quadriplegics in America. And in the year 2008, 26,000 veterans were treated in the USVA Medical Center. So what could be a solution to this huge number of patients? Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you B-Motion. B-Motion is a brain-controlled robotic wheelchair that was developed for handicapped patients, taking quadriplegic patients, for example, who have partially or totally lost the ability to use their limbs or torso due to illness or injuries in the spinal cord, and who are therefore unable to use a conventional joystick. B-Motion will allow handicapped patients to drive the wheelchair using only the power of their thoughts. So the patient will think where the wheelchair is to go, and it just heads in that direction. B-Motion will allow handicapped patients to become more productive and will help them to become more independent members in society. So to know how this works, I will leave you with my colleague Omar to explain it for you. So we're just gonna watch a demonstration first.
Okay, so let me give you an idea on how this works. Our brain works by, our brain cells work by communicating with each other using small electrical signals. The pattern and the magnitude of these signals depends on our emotions and thoughts. So every emotion and every thought, like go right, go forward, has a specific pattern. So we use a neurological headset with electrodes placed on the head of the patient to gather this brain activity and send the digital copy to the processing unit, which has a special software that analyzes this brain activity by sampling to try and figure out that specific pattern that relates to the patient's thought. Once we look onto the thought, the system checks the surrounding first to make sure there are no obstacles in the way, and then it sends a digital command to the interface with the appropriate motion commands. The interface receives the command, interprets it, and sends the appropriate electrical signals to the wheelchair. We have used the Microsoft Kinect to turn the wheelchair into a robotic wheelchair that has artificial intelligence, that can take decisions on its own. The wheelchair we developed features a software that can take a simple command as go right, then first assesses the immediate surrounding to make sure there are no obstacles in the way, then heads in the right direction without any collisions. as you can see here in the video. To show how versatile this concept is, to show how it's not just about motion, we can bring it up to controlling everything in his house, lights, TV. It's not about just giving him independence for mobility. Since we can now know what the patient is thinking, we can use that to have him control other house equipment, such as a TV and a house light, as you can see here. He uses his toes to switch on the lights. Now the TV. You can have the camera focus on the TV. So how this works? Again, we have the neurological headset that captures the brain activity, sends it to the laptop. We have the thought. We use a wireless XBU module to send a command to the interface circuit next to the smart home to turn on the equipment. We have also added another safety feature. See, since we can monitor the brain activity, we can also monitor the consciousness level of the patient. So we have used that capability to add a safety feature to notify the nurse or the caretaker of the patient whenever, in the case of the patient loses consciousness, or in case of any other emergency. And of course, the wheelchair stops on its own. Now, of course, we're not planning to stop here. We recommend future enhancement to include an indoor tracking system to make it easier for the patient to maneuver the wheelchair. He just uses the headset to choose where to go, and the wheelchair heads and takes him to that place, whether it's the kitchen, the bedroom, and so on. We also recommend having the wheelchair connected to the internet through IoT to upload the captured brain activity, so later on, doctors can have a look and make medical diagnosis based on that. Of course, to have this wheelchair come to life, we reached out to the community, and we received positive support from everyone, from handicap clubs to the media to doctors. They all believed in our concept, because they knew what type of impact this could have in the society. They knew what type of impact this project could have on the quadriplegic patients. They knew that we could be just giving hope to the next Stephen Hawkins. Thank you. Second, can I play the second?
Take the mic down, please. Are you finished? No. Okay.
All right, that is our third team in AI and robotics national category, and that is B Motion, back for a second year to present their idea. So what happens when teams want to come back a second or third year? What is the procedure? Do they have to change their ideas? Do they have to
Well, as far as I know, you can apply for the second year, and it's up to the committee because some ideas can always be improved upon. So I'm sure when you have a situation when a team comes back, they've done something. And to add to that, I was talking to B-Motion earlier, they were looking at incorporating Bluetooth technology to allow their system to interface with devices at home, and that wasn't present last year.
All right, great. Also, another thing we want to reiterate is the length and the procedure it takes to get over here. You know, we have teams from around the world who apply to be part of this event, and you know, there's a team that really goes through every single project, analyzes all the teams and all the entries to bring it down to these final 20 teams who are here presenting today. And today we're down to 20 competitors altogether. We have 9 international and 11 national teams. So it's down to 20, but as I mentioned earlier, there's been loads of submissions, more than 1,017 submissions from 165 countries. So it's not an easy job for the team and the committee to bring it down to these final 20 who are here presenting on stage today. So, you know, to make it this far already, I think is an accomplishment by itself. So, you know, well done to the 20 teams who are already here, I'd say.
Absolutely. And again, being on stage and getting everything to go right, a lot of these projects are in prototype stage. Some of the teams are working on them last minute. To have that all go smoothly, it is quite an accomplishment.
Absolutely. And one thing I could definitely tell you about is that it's not easy being on the stage, presenting in front of an audience, presenting in front of a judge. You know, it definitely plays a huge role in your presentation. So, you know, making your presentation very active, enthusiastic, interacting with the audience. And you're here to impress the judges, of course. You know, the judges are here scoring you on all of these points. I think our next team's on stage setting up. Let's talk about our next team. It's In-Pipe Inspection Robot.
So In-Pipe are working on robotic vehicle that can travel inside pipes. They're specifically targeting the oil and gas industry. And I've just been told that they're ready to go. So
we'll talk more about them as soon as they're done. So here is your 4th team in the National Part 1 category. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for In-Pipe Inspection Robot.
Good morning and assalamu alaikum everyone. Today my team and I are going to be presenting In-Pipe Inspection Robot. The group members include Wasim Al-Masri, Dr. Shayyub Khafadia, and Dr. Mamoon Abdul Hafiz, and Dr. Muhammad Jaradat, including myself, Daniel Walid. Here's an outline of our presentation. We'll start with the introduction, methodology, robot design, and experimental work, and conclude with the conclusion and the demonstration. So let's start with some numbers. In a study done by OPEC in 2015, 40% of the UAE's GDP came from the oil and gas industries. The numbers are staggering. Approximately 52,000 or more than $52,000 million of worth petroleum was exported. 13,200 millimeter cube of natural gas was exported. What does this show us? This shows us that UAE relies heavily on the oil and gas industry for its development. The oil and gas industry uses pipelines as a transportation media, and a leak in these can cause massive damage. Here's an incident which happened in December 2016, where worth 176,000 gallons was lost due to a pipe leak.
Very windy.
Testing, okay. So 176,000 gallons of crude oil was lost due to a pipe leak. This can cause massive damage, not to the company in terms of cost, but to the environment as well, to the natural habitat and to other things affected by it. Another thing is 50 million people were affected also by another leak in the same country. So our objective is to design and build a robot that can detect leaks in a pipeline, in oil and gas pipelines, and localize them and wirelessly transmit data. So we went to the drawing board, and what we did was we went to 3 major areas: leak detection, localization, and wireless communication. Then we went to our robot design criteria. We wanted our robot to achieve at least 4 main things. Thrust, to be able to propel itself in the pipeline so it can work in both passive and active pipelines. Maneuverability, it should maintain maximum contact within the pipeline. Space optimization, make sure everything is properly set up in the robot. And power, portable power. We need our robot to have portable power. So here we show you one of the prototype manufacturing in AUS. We did this in our manufacturing lab. And this was done to do 3 prototypes. We have prototype 1 over here. We have prototype 2 over here. And the robot in front of you is prototype 3. Prototype 1 was basically able to localize, basically able to detect leaks in pipeline. Prototype 2 was able to detect leaks and localize them, and prototype 3 is the best of the both worlds. Here we show you the main components of our robot, which is in front of you. And now I will give the stage to Dr. Shayouk Mukhafadia.
Thank you, Mamoon. Thank you, Daniel, for your excellent presentation. To continue forward, we have 3 systems in the robot. One, obviously, for moving the robot, which is the robot locomotion system. And then we detect subsystems for actual leak detection and also knowing where the leak is for localization. And we do these things. We have a leak detection system which uses AI, because the operator, as the diagram shows, can manually intervene, and he can look at the data, but sometimes it's not clear where the leak is. So we have developed a neural network-based system which can aid the operator detect leaks automatically. So the procedure that we have developed is pretty simple. We just turn on the robot. We have a custom GUI in which you can input the settings. And once you hit the start button, the robot runs through the pipe that we have here, and it will stop according to some preset distance or time settings. We also have markers. We can use it with the camera to stop at a specific marker. And at the end, the operator either uses the data, or your neural network-based setting that we have developed can help him. So on this slide, you can see some raw data from our pressure sensors. And the 3 curves show you our pressure sensors data. And just to give you an idea what's going on, this data that we gathered was done when the ends of the pipe were open. So in the section that you see is marked pre and post. That's when the robot is near the ends of the pipe. So you see the pressure decreasing slowly, and then it flattens out. When you do not have any leaks, you have the middle portion, which is flat. And when you have a leak, there is a big peak. So our job is to detect this jump or detect this peak. Now, if you are way inside the pipe, if the robot is way inside the pipe, or the pressure is nearly equalized, the direction of the peak may flip, but we can adjust our neural network accordingly to compensate. So now let's show you what's been done using our neural network system. And what we figured out is if you take the fast Fourier transform in the sections where it's marked no leak and leak, the magnitude of the low frequency component is much higher when you have a leak, and that's shown by the red arrow. Just to verify that we were actually thinking about this correctly, we ran about 35 tests. We observed the same trend, and we trained our neural network based on this, and initial results showed around a 96% success rate. So we took this system and used some low frequency data from 15 or 30 more tests, and as you can see, we only got about 2 errors for classifying leaks. And so that's about a 94% success rate. And with that, I will leave you to my colleague to discuss about localization of leaks.
Thank you, Shayouk. So now we want to discuss the localization module of our robot. What we want to make sure is we have sustained high accuracy estimation of our position, attitude, and velocity of the robot, so that whenever a leak is detected, we can localize it with high accuracy. We can send people to fix it quickly before the environment gets damaged, before habitat around the environment gets really affected. So, of course, what we can do is, we have initial measurements on this robot. We can, of course, just integrate the initial measurements that are composed of tri-axis accelerometer and tri-axis gyroscopes, and get an attitude and position localization with time. The problem, we either have to have very high cost inertial measurement unit, which can run to $1 million in cost, or we can use low cost and make sure that our fusion algorithm accounts for the degradation or for the noise on these sensors. The problem, of course, is at the beginning, of course, we have the pig. It's entered into the pipe. At the beginning, yes, we have GPS to localize it initially, but as it's in the pipeline, you don't have a GPS signal. So what can we do? What aiding measurements can we get? We were actually motivated by this environment when you are moving along the highway, and you always observe these light posts at equal distance apart. Now, we said, well, if we can have a measurement that detects the entry of a section of a pipeline that are marked here with these red sections, then we can have an aiding measurement to make sure that we get high accuracy, low cost, improvement to our position accuracy. Additionally, of course, on the robot, we have wheel encoders that can measure for us the velocity of the pig as it moves through the pipeline. But this velocity, it's not in all directions. We know that the pig can only move along the axis of the pipeline. It cannot move up and down, and it cannot move sideways. So we have this velocity constraint that makes sure that this is used in the fusion algorithm of our robot. Additionally, we need to make sure, as I mentioned earlier, that we have sustained high accuracy estimation of our robot. This robot will run forever. This robot will run from one country to another, from one port to another. Well, the sensors on board the robot might degrade in time. Noise might increase in time. Bias can be introduced due to environmental conditions. So what we did is we made sure along the estimation algorithm, we have a side algorithm that detects possible increase in the measurement uncertainty, measurement noise, and possible bias that's caused by environmental constraints. This will enable us to have a plug-and-play high accuracy solution to our robot. Thank you. I'll pass you to my colleague, Wasim Al-Masri.
Thank you, Dr. Mamoun. Our localization algorithm is based on inertial navigation system, INS. INS mainly has inertial measurement unit, IMU, which an array of 3 perpendicular accelerometers and 3 perpendicular gyroscopes. The gyroscopes measure the angular rates around the body frame axis, whereas the accelerometers measure the specific forces in the body frame axis. The process of converting the IMU's outputs into position, velocity, and attitude is called INS mechanization. This process includes transformation from different frames into our computational frame, which is in our case, Earth-centered, Earth-fixed frame. Also, this process includes the compensation for the gravity effect and the Coriolis effect. At the end, we are doing the integration to get the position, velocity, and attitude. This represents the INS mechanization, where the inputs are the angular rates measured by the gyroscopes and the specific forces measured by the accelerometers. The outputs are the position, velocity, and attitude, all expressed in an Earth-centered, Earth-fixed frame. Due to sensor uncertainty, and because our INS solution is based on integration, the INS solution will diverge with time. People used to have a GPS signal to fuse it with the INS to correct the solution, but in our case, we don't have GPS signal inside the pipe. So instead of GPS, we are using the measurement from the encoders and the detected pipe length to correct our INS solution. Our fusion algorithm is based on extending Kalman filter. As we see in this slide, we get the error between the INS and the aiding source. At the end, we will fit this error to the Kalman filter. Then we will use the estimated error by Kalman filter to update our INS solution. And this is the full error system, which is used by extending Kalman filter. As we see here, we have 15 states. Beside the error in position, velocity, and attitude, we are compensating for the bias variation in the accelerometers and gyroscopes. And this is an experimental test for our localization algorithm done by prototype 2. As we see, first we need the GPS to get the initial velocity and attitude. And when the robot runs through the pipe, we will use the measurement from the encoder and detected pipe length to correct the solution. And we got very promising results. Our average absolute error was 2 to 3 centimeters. And we have submitted a journal to IEEE measurement and transaction. Now we will go to the demo.
Thank you, Wasim, for your presentation. And my colleagues and I will now do a demo of the pipe robot where it runs through an elbow. My colleague Wasim is going to enter it from that end. And here we have simulated a leak between these two joints. Also, you may have heard us using a term which we have been referring to as a PIG. That's the short form for a pipe inspection robot. And this will move through and stop. And there we go. There was the auto stop. Now my colleague Daniel is going to assist us with some results that we plot on the screen. And so I believe we have successfully developed and demonstrated a robot that is capable to detect leaks, localize itself, and also helps in maintaining the sustainability of the environment, because leaks cost a lot and they pollute the environment. And so we hope by this we can help plug the leaks and just save the environment.
I just want to point it out that you can see the results. At approximately 2 seconds, we were able to detect a leak. That's why the census data on the left side have fallen down. That's where exactly we detected the leak. And on the right side, you can see the localization results on where the starting point was the green, and the end point is the black dot, and the red dot is where exactly the leak has been detected. Exactly the same shape as this elbow. And I can now give to...
Thank you, Waleed. Just I want to highlight some of the parts or components of our robot. We have a propeller here that simulates, active robot where we can, vary the speed of this robot so that we make sure that we optimize for accuracy and for leak detection as well accuracy. We have an IMU. We have an array of sensors around the robot, pressure sensors and encoder sensors, and we have a GPS to initialize the algorithm as this is attached to the beginning of the pipeline. After that, we have the IMU and the detected pipe sections to make sure we have sustained high accuracy estimation. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your kind attention. Thank you.
All right, thank you to In-Pipe Inspection Robots, and that is our 4th team in the National Part 1 category. Judges got 1 minute to get their scores in. Not revealing the results today. They will all be revealed at the end of the day and tomorrow. Now, Shaban, let's talk about what these guys are doing over here. It looks like a remote control going through the pipe, but how are they actually detecting the leak?
So this is a really good example of using a robotic vehicle to carry out some sort of inspection, because they've also, you see, it's 2 challenges here. A, you have to develop a vehicle that can work in pipes, and as they mentioned in the presentation, they have a propeller to simulate fluid motion, because once it's in the pipe, it'll be in a pipe which has oil running through it. The other thing that they've worked on is the very technical, you saw during their presentation, is the software side of things, where the system is able to use pressure differential algorithms to figure out where the leaks are and then to mark those leaks down. Now, I was chatting with Daniel from the team when they were doing rehearsals, and I asked him, like, how are you going to control the system when a lot of pipes are underground, and getting command and control down there is quite challenging. And I believe they're also working on a solution for that in the future.
All right, great. Getting our next team to set up, and the next team is GDRFA. We're going to have 2 minutes for them to set up. And while they're setting up, I just want to let you know that the workshop has begun. Our one of 3 workshops that is going to be going on over the next 2 days. And I also want to let you know that the workshop is open to young ones and adults. It's open to people of all ages. So if you want to get some hands-on experience on how robots or drones work, you can head over to the workshop, which is located right at the entrance before you walk into the grandstand, and get some hands-on experience over there with the robots and the drones. I hope everybody in the audience is doing well. Welcome to our first day. I know it's a little windy here today, but we have a cover on top of all of us, so we're all going to be okay. And we have some great things lined up for you here on stage today. Shaban and I were actually here during the rehearsal days, and I could tell you that some of the ideas that are presented here today are going to blow you away, just like this wind.
Just like this wind. It is picking up, and well, thankfully we're not flying today, so we're very lucky that we should be able to handle this, no problem.
So does the wind affect flying drones for tomorrow?
Yes, most drones generally can't fly upwards of a certain wind speed. It really depends on the kind of drone. And also the weight of the drone. So the smaller the drone, the harder it's going to have a time flying.
And how good the pilot is, of course.
And how good the pilot is, yes.
All right, our next team is ready to go. GDRFAD. be our next team. You have 15 minutes to impress the judges. Good luck.
He can come with you here. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أشكركم. We would like to thank you for giving us the opportunity to participate in the competition. My name is Amar Rashid Limheri, Director of Smart Project Department and General Director and Foreign Affairs of Dubai. Today I will talk about Saada robot. It's a female avatar. Actually, we built it in appreciation for the females and women who work in Dubai immigration 24/7. And they have very special skills to make the people who coming to Dubai happy. Recently, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid, when he visit us, he tell us, we will give you a name, you are the peace gates for Dubai. And it's become our vision and from 2017 to 2020. I will talk about Saada robot. General Director and Foreign Affairs always trying to facilitate and simplify the process of visa issuing, clearance, the passenger in Dubai airport, and ecosystems to sustain the security in United Arab Emirates and Dubai, especially in Dubai airports. So we built Saada robots in order to cope with this improvement happen in Dubai airport, where we become a seamless immigration, so we pre-clear all the passengers before they arrive to Dubai. Recently, we, as a General Director, Mohammed Ahmed Al-Marri, announced the Saada program in alignment with the national agenda of happiness and positivity, and also with Dubai Plan 2021. We start developing a concept of a new happiness, and we try to build also a new concept of emotion detection using in-house developed biometrics and identity engine. So what is the concept of happiness meter? As you know, the happiness meter is an iPads distributed in the government, and you have to stop. And our new strategy in Dubai airport that we will become touchless immigration, or there will be zero touch point stop. So we improve the recognition engine in the robot. It can indicate the happiness from the emotion. Also, the other concept is the self-service kiosk robot. So for special needs and for people who using the self-service kiosk, they need to have a guidance. So this robot will guide him to the services so they can apply for their visa, they can inquire about their services. And there is another entertainment features in the robot where you can take a picture. And I think this is the only robot who have account in the Facebook and Twitter. So if he take a picture, he will post it direct to the social media with hashtag DNRD robot. So as you see here is the fourth emotion detection. We can detect happiness, neutral, and sadness. And accordingly, it will post it in the social media. It will be focused in each services. For example, if you are in the airport, it will detect what is the maturity or what is the happiness level of you in the department where we are locating the robot. So I think here my colleague Ahmed will start demonstrate for you the robot. Assalamu alaikum. I am Ahmed Al-Tanamli, Project Manager at Dubai Immigration, General Directorate of Residency and Foreign Affairs. Just in addition to First Lieutenant Amir, what he mentioned, that this is a happiness robot. It is utilizing our in-house developed image processing engine, which works with and you can say a lot of AI technologies and neural network. We utilize we use some already our out-of-the-box classes from. Okay. You have to use it. There is a one. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Here we go. We use some out-of-the-box functions, and we build upon it our own engine. Actually, this happiness meter is a part of big program for biometrics for identification of passengers. So, as Lieutenant Amir mentioned, when passenger arrives to Dubai airport, he should first be identified through either his passport, his iris, his facial. So here we use this function, this facial recognition, to analyzing characteristic for passengers, his feeling, his facial characteristics. Then we cross-match with our database to check for his status. Is he a green person? I mean, he have nothing, or he is not blacklisted, or whatever, for the security issues. Then it replied again with its status. So we take this part for facial recognition and use for the happiness program. So since we're able to analyze your face emotions and feelings, we can discover a range of these feelings, start from happy, sad, neutral, angry, or whatever. I think up to 9 feelings we can detect. Okay. Here, as Lieutenant Amir is showing us, I just go through the test. So it's giving me, for example, in the border control, I am neutral. I don't know, I tried to smile, but it didn't detect. I think because of the weather. In the smart application, I am happy. And customer service, I am happy also. And in the external unit, I am not happy. I don't know why. Make me, but I hope my general director will not see this result. So, and according to this test, it will share it with the social media. Here is our dashboard for number of votes, number of happy persons, neutral. This actually dashboard is there in our control room. So for any problem, if sadness indicator is high, so we need to have some corrective actions like this. Okay, and this is another sample. And here what Amir mentioned, this may be the first robot have Twitter account. So whatever you interact or do with the robot, you can post to social media. It will be public, this as a kind of transparency. Okay. And here is, maybe this is the first launch, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed. This was in Dubai Government Forum. This again, another events in GDRFA. And there is a short video showing it in live world. The video wall where we are posting all the tweets and all the tests and results from the happiness indicator. This can be a next generation happiness meter will be placed in Dubai airport, where we don't want to stop the passenger to touch the screen. Also the capability, as we said, it can also recognize the person, and it can facilitate for him some kind of visa if it is in a transit area and he is willing to visit Dubai. He just can approach to one of those robots, fill his information with his mobile number, and he will be notified in his email by the visa and permission to visit Dubai. another live demo now, just to be shown in the screen. If you can try again, yes, here. I don't know if you can, for camera to have, okay. I mean, if you can just come here, okay. Here, as you see, just first thing is to start entering your name or just by inserting your MRS ID. Now it's counting 3, 2, 1. Robot then start to counting 5 seconds, and during this period, you just smile or to do some feelings. I think our cameraman will help us here. Here, this is actually one of the application for this biometric for facial recognition. As we mentioned, it will be used in Dubai airports. So eventually, next time, inshallah, when you arrive to Dubai airport, you will find the robot instead of our officers. Okay, it will just automatically identify your personnel. So we use the same, let us say, functions for identifying your happiness. Oh, this is the result. Okay, here you can post to social media for Twitter.
It will go to GDRFA
_robot.
Yes.
That's it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we promise we will participate next year, inshallah, with other challenges with the robot.
Yeah. All right, our next team the current team, GDRFAD, just presented, and the judges will have 1 minute to get their scores in. In the meantime, the next team, Smart Highway Robot, will be setting up with their 2 minutes before they present their presentation. So what do we witness over here? I feel like every time we go to a government entity or a customer service area, you always have to fill out through this machine or device about how your experience was. Is this the replacement for that?
I think so. It's the next evolution of that. So a lot of people probably may not have the time, or they're in a rush to like interact with that. This device would allow touchless interaction. It's able to judge whether people are happy based on facial recognition. And also a little interesting point to add there for those of you that are currently on Twitter is this robot has its own Twitter account. So if you look up at GDRFA Robo, you'll be able to find its tweet, and there's also a hashtag to go with that. That's hashtag GDRFAD_robot. So the tweets from all these different events that the robot's been there are actually out on its account right now.
Is this robot going to retweet me if I tweet it? That's what I want to know.
Let's test that theory out.
We're going to test it and let you know in the next break, maybe. One more team to go. It's still part one, and then we're going to take a short break from about 10:50 to 11:40. But let's talk about our next team, Smart Highway Robot, who is setting up right now. So what are they presenting?
So Smart Highway Robot are tackling a problem that is dear to all our hearts, and that is traffic issues, among many, many other things. I think this project has more than that as an application, including safety. So do you remember at sometimes 2 a.m. in the morning when we're driving out and there's these temporary construction cones that are put out there, and there are people trying to sort of tell you that, hey, there's guys working, please beware. A solution like this could actually replace that and hopefully get people out of harm's way, because it's quite dangerous to be out on an active highway. And I'll let the team talk more about this, but essentially it's a robotic solution for traffic management.
All right, excellent. Once again, a big thank you to our sponsors, ICT Fund, who's organizing the event, and TRA. Not forgetting our lead sponsor, Dubai Internet City, for providing us this lovely venue year after year. And also a couple of others to thank our event partner, Samsung, Digi Robotics, and community partner, Makers Builders, who are running the workshops. The workshop currently running to 11:30. In case you missed this one, it's open to adults and the young ones. The next one is happening from 1 till 2:30, and you can catch the last one today. Today it's all robotics workshops. Last one at 3 p.m., which will take you up to 4:30 p.m. AI and robotics is where we're at, part one. One more team left to go before we take the break, and then after the break, we'll be back with another set of teams. Another 6 teams to go in AI and Robotics National. We take a break for prayers at 12:30, and then we'll be back at 2 p.m. to kick off our international category, where they're going in for the $1 million prize in the international, and the national category, who is in for the 1 million dirham prize. Also, don't forget the People's Choice Award. It's great that you came out here to watch and support. If you do want to give the guys a little vote, it does help them in their scores. You log on to the website. It's a4g.ae to vote for a team of your choice. It would be great if you give them that support. And if you are on the social media, the hashtag for today is hashtag UAEA4G. That is the hashtag for today.
And while we're waiting for the team to get ready, let's talk a little bit about the news, Marwan. This week has been quite a bit of innovation, and we've read about the first launch of a UAE satellite on the PSLV Indian rocket. So that happened this week, and it was developed right here by the MBRSC and AUS. It's called the Naif-1. And it's a nanosatellite. It's been in development for quite a while, and the first UAE nanosatellite launched into space, and it was communicating 18 minutes after it was launched.
Excellent. Shaban, I like that you bring these great facts to the event year after year. We'll talk more expert drone and expert robotics facts after this. I think our next team is ready to go. Please put your hands together for Smart Highway Robot, our final team in part one.
Judges, today we are presenting Smart Highway Robots. We are the team from Abu Dhabi University, and we consist of Dr. Mohammed Ghazal, my colleague Dr. Anas Samir Ali, and myself, Yasmin Al Khalil. Today we are going to present you our solution. So, we all know that in Dubai there are more than 1.4 million vehicles on the roads, and this number keeps increasing constantly. Not only that, but it has been recorded that per person in the UAE, in Dubai itself, there are more than in London and New York. And on top of the cost of managing traffic and time lost because of the traffic is more than 12 billion dirhams. So, have you ever found yourself in a solution like this when you were stuck in traffic, didn't know what to do, had to wait for a long time, lost a lot of time, first were late, and so on? Have you ever had this feeling? I believe you have, especially in Dubai and UAE in general. So not only that, but because of the traffic, there are a lot of traffic accidents that happen, and you lose your time, you lose your money, you waste a lot of productivity. So is there a solution for something like this? Can actually robots help with traffic jams and traffic management? Well, we believe we can actually use the robots to solve the traffic problems that we have in UAE, but also around the world. So we present to you our smart solution, Smart Highway Robots, which are made right here in the UAE.
So good morning, ladies and gentlemen, once more time. Our project is very important because it goes in line with the smart cities initiatives, especially for Dubai City. Well, our project again is very important because it minimizes the congestion that may occur. In the morning, in the evening, when are you driving in and out of the city. Now, the main advantages of our project are the following. First of all, it has an overall traffic management, and it's convenient, and it's easily to deploy, and again, it's innovative. Now, our proposed solution here. Our solution here is expands the road capacity. So here we have sensors that detects where the congestion is in each side of the road, and it gives the priority for the side that has lower congestion. So it adds up other lanes for the side that has more congestion. So as we see from this figure here, that side that has more congestion here, right now it has more lanes. That means right now the congestion will be minimized. So here we propose another redesign for the highways. It's a clean, smart. We use here photovoltaic, or we have renewable resources here. It's smart robotic, traffic barrier. Of course, here we are using wireless sensors. And last but not the least here, we are using green power solar. Okay. Now, first of all, the message is sent from the traffic center to the main barrier unit through GSM network. Then that message will be broadcasted to the other slave barriers. And this continues on until the barriers finish here. Now, our prototype here, it consists of the following equipments. First of all, we have omnidirectional wheels here. They can move in all directions. And also here we have the power supply, which is in our case here is a photovoltaic power panel that can supply all the equipments with the needed voltage current for the electronic circuits. We have here control and communication kits, which are open source. And we have here also many sensors, LDR sensors, which detect and give orders for the barriers when to stop and when to continue moving. Thank you so much. And right now, I will let you with my colleague, Yasmina. Thank you.
So before we start with our demonstration, we just want to discuss the customers and the economy of our solution. So our solution is actually deployable widely. It is easily customizable. It is easily scalable, which means that it can be applied on any road and any road infrastructure in the world, depending on the needs. Not only that, it is not very costly. It was easily to assemble. And it also utilizes efficient energy sources, which is actually solar energy. And it can be applied in basically the Department of Transport and in any kind of highway management solutions. And I just want to add that we have designed this with the aim of the UAE Department of Transport, where their aim is to manage and regulate the traffic and the roads in the most efficient way as possible. Now, for our demo, we have here our prototype, and our prototype actually consists of 2 robotic units. Now, the first unit is actually the main unit, and this main unit will receive a command over the GSM network. So I am just going to simply send an SMS for it to move. After it receives an SMS with a particular command, and this command that it receives indicates the movement of the robot either to the left lane or the right lane with a number which actually indicates how many lanes is it going to move. The main unit, after receiving the message, will start moving. And using all of the sensors that we have on our board, the ultrasonic, the infrared sensors, and the line follower array, it will actually align itself with the white line on the road. I am going to show you now the video of our demo. So we have
Can we have the video played, perhaps? You did? Okay. So I guess you have seen already the video, so I'm just going to demonstrate fast the working of one of the robots. So just so you can see it moving and aligning with the white line. My colleague, Dr. Anas, will just connect the battery. Now, because of the weather conditions, we don't actually have our barrier aligned on the panel. So our barrier is actually here, and the solar panel for the efficient energy would come on top of it. So I am going to now send it a message just to indicate for it to move to the left lane. And it should be hopefully starting to move. As soon as the GSM actually receives the message and starts aligning itself, it should start moving to the left lane. There we go. So now it moves until the white lane. It starts aligning itself, and then it stops. And then it aligns itself, in theory, just to actually meet with the other robotic unit that we have. So I believe you have seen that action on the video that was playing behind me while I was explaining how it works. Now, after the main unit would align, the follower would follow it, and then again align itself with the main unit with the barriers on top and the solar panel on top. So the actual alignment of the two units would be straight and basically close up along the same lane. So this is it for our demo. And just to conclude our presentation, so we are presenting a very efficient solution for managing traffic congestion and for actually directing traffic into another lane. What we have in our prototype is the main unit and the follower robot, but our prototype can always be scalable, and the followers can be added. So we can have many of these follower units together, so to form a long line of robots together and to align across the white line on the road. Now, not only that, our solution actually uses the efficient solar energy, so it basically, the environmental care is there, and it's very cheap to assemble. It can be utilized anywhere in the world, but we have designed it in mind of UAE and the traffic congestion that often happens in the UAE. So that would be all for us today. Thank you very much for listening to us and for giving us this opportunity, and have a nice day. Thank you.
If you need help, call me up on stage. So while we're waiting for the stage to clear up, let's do a quick recap of the Smart Highway Robot. I was having a chat with Samar and Yasmina from the team. They've come down from Abu Dhabi University, and that's one of the things to remember for this project for the audience is it's quite easy to do localized radio control. You know, when you have a little remote over here on site. It is quite hard, on the other hand, to get a robot to work over something like a GSM network, and that's what these ladies are working towards. Their system is going to be able to be controlled from your cell phones, and that's also one of the reasons why it's going to be You don't really need to set up a radio station or a ground station. It'll use the existing Etisalat or Do networks for it to work. Marwan, back to you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you've enjoyed the first part of the National AI and Robotics Competition. We're going to be taking a short 10-minute break, and we'll be back for part 2. Another 6 teams who are going to be presenting in for the chance to win a 1 million dirham prize here at the For Good Award. So please enjoy your break for 10 minutes, and we'll be back for part 2. Thank you.